These deep cleansing breaths that are so beautiful, so purifying, coming in through your nose, this diamond crystal white light. See if you can feel and see this white diamond crystal light coming in through your nose. The gift of light, the gift of spirit coming into your body. This white light is now moving in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feeling the giving and the receiving of the light through this breathwork practice right now. Taking a moment to just listen to this song by this angel. I am here for you. In this meditation, we're practicing the receiving of the love, the pure love of God. As it moves in through your nose and out through your mouth, you're practicing the giving and receiving of light and energy that is constantly flowing through us all the time. Sometimes we feel that there's some sort of lack of vitality or energy, consciousness. And it's simply sometimes we're forgetting to breathe. So in this breath right now, we're being reminded through our breath of who we truly are. As you breathe in, breathing in light, letting that light now move into your heart, placing your hands over your heart space if you choose. You're being invited here in this meditation to surrender to anything and everything that you've been holding on to that does not serve you anymore. As you breathe in, the light is moving into your heart chakra to cleanse, to clear your heart. Watching it pool there, gather there now, this light inside your heart. This is a visioning process. See the light move in and become brighter and lighter as you see it there. It is true that the light is truly the master purifier. We think there's some self doing it, healing us. The I. There is no I doing it. It is truly by the grace of God that we heal. So inside your heart, if there's pain, if there's anything that's stored here that is hurting, it is being worked with now, taking that deep breath. Deep cleansing, purifying breaths now. Filling yourself, allowing this light to move beyond your heart if that's okay. Meaning it can move all through your entire central channel now. Spirit providing this beautiful, sacred opportunity to cleanse your entire energy system. Feeling that you're being invited into the arms of God to do this practice, to surrender more deeply and internally saying to yourself, if you so choose, I surrender to the light. I surrender to this purifying, clearing, healing experience. Watching the light move through your entire body, flooding every chakra of your body. Moving from your upper chakras, possibly to your lower chakras. If you don't know where your chakras are, it's okay. Just seeing light move through your entire body, up and down. Perhaps it's now moving beyond your body. It's around your body, being enveloped in this sacred cocoon, this bathing of light around your body. Again, internally speaking to yourself, I surrender. What do you surrender? What does it mean to surrender? To allow, to let go, to no longer hang on to what does not serve you. Perhaps it's been fear. Perhaps it's been pain, worry, doubt as you review your life right now. What have you been hanging on to? What have you been clinging on to? Because you didn't know that you could just let go. Invite yourself into this moment in a deeper way now through your breath. Deep, cleansing breath. And just take a moment and see if there's been any stress. If you even choose, you can begin to tap gently on your heart space and allowing yourself to just see what it has been that you know for sure has not been easy. Something that you've been hanging on to for some time. So now we're letting go of what's in the present that has been hurting and the past. So we can come into this holy now together. Any projections of the past, any pain of the present, any possibility of pain in the future, it's all becoming collapsed into this one moment now. Choosing to surrender now even more deeply. Dear God, please help me. I let go. I let God enter into every crevice of my being and begin to be free and live in freedom. Feel that in this moment, the freedom that you feel inside is changing, expanding. Take a moment one more time to breathe deeply. And if it's helpful at this moment as we close the meditation, to forgive anything and everything that you know that's been hurting, holding you back, causing you any type of discomfort. I forgive myself. I forgive this energy. I forgive this person. Whatever it may be, you know for sure right now, if this helps dislodge the energy, just for a few more seconds. I forgive. And breathe deeply. And feel and know that what you are working with today has truly cleared and you are truly changed. And that is okay to just be free and to allow your life to just be simply beautiful as intended. Thank you so much. And so with this beautiful meditation, we say, thank you, God. Thank you. Amen.
So as our wonderful Unity singers are finding their way up, they have put so much into the holiday season and the new year and now creating new songs. And we just want to acknowledge them and thank them for their efforts and their energy. So let's bring forth that. And I just have to say, Ragan Thompson is a blessing to this community. Yes? Yes. I guess I'm going to sit down though. I sort of. Oh, there they go. Phoebe's going. Get the energy out of this place.
of it. Thank you. Wow, look at the gorgeous people in this room. I am glad to be a part of it. Means I'm gorgeous too. Well, we base our lesson. Oh, thank you. We base our lesson today on 2 Corinthians 4:18, where it says, "So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, third dimensional, low density, outer world, but on what is unseen, spirit, God, good. But on what is unseen, but since what is seen is temporary, so this world, the outer world, the third dimensional world, temporary, but what is unseen is eternal." I love that. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but what is unseen, what is eternal. Today I want to begin with a true story. And right before the rains came, what was that, 2 weeks ago, here in California, Steve, my husband, and I decided we'd better go to the grocery store along with the rest of Ojai to get our provisions, right? And at one point, we were standing in line at the deli, and there was a gentleman ahead of us who was obviously homeless and had $1 in his hand. And he asked the young man at the counter, behind the counter, and he said, Can I get a slice of pizza for this $1? And the young man said, "No, it's $5 a slice. Things are expensive in Ojai, let's just say that." And then he said, "Well, is there anything here at the counter that I can get for $1? And the young man said, "No, I'm sorry." And the gentleman walked away. So I turned to Steve, I said, "Do you have any cash on you?" And he gave me a $20 bill. I went up to the gentleman and I said, "I saw that you wanted some pizza. Do you still want it?" And he said, "Oh, yes." And I said, "Well, maybe this will be of assistance." And I slipped a 20 into his hand. Learned that from my dad when we wanted good seats at a restaurant, right? And I didn't want to embarrass him, so I just slipped it over to him. Now, this part of the story, you may be thinking, Reverend Cathy might be on drugs. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I gotta keep my channel clear, and I swear to the Lord God Almighty, that gentleman morphed into a light being. And I was so touched by what I was witnessing that I just began to cry. And he took my hand with his sparkly eyes, and he looked directly in my soul. And he said, "God bless you, child." And if I wasn't in the grocery store, I would have knelt in reverence to this saintly being. So Steve was around the corner watching from a distance. And when I walked away, he said, "Are you okay? Why are you crying?" And I had no idea other than I was touched so deeply by a very high frequency. The moral of this story is that you might want to visit Westridge Supermarket and give a $20 bill to a homeless person. So as Reverend Temple knows, I'm an inward processor, which means I tend to analyze. And I needed to analyze, what was that? What just happened? You see, I woke up that day very cranky. No reason, really. I just wasn't feeling my positive, perky self. And I did something that morning that I will be sharing with you today. It's a spiritual hack, if you will. Now, as we all know, the universe is all about frequencies. And it has been said that there is only one of us, right? We are only one. We are all connected. Therefore, in this connection of one, there are human beings that resonate at lower frequencies and human beings that are resonating off the charts, high frequency. And you are a part of that one in your frequency, right? Somewhere between here and there. And in this spectrum of our oneness, there are people who are so blissful, so ecstatic, and so happy with their lives right now at this very second. So here's the spiritual hack. If you are feeling down and in the dumps, and what you can do is you can ask in prayer to tune into those who are the happiest, most blissful, the most connected to spirit human beings living on the planet right now. Imagine that. Right at this very second, there are human beings that are living heaven on earth. Right at this very second. And since we are all one, since we are all connected, it's energy being shared. And all you are doing is moving your consciousness up the scale of higher resonance. So that morning, since I didn't want to be cranky in my prayers, I asked, I just said, I ask, dear God, to be tuned into the happiest, most blissful, most spiritually connected human beings living on planet Earth right now. And you see, these people who are so happy, they're part of the one, they are simply way shores. They have energetically carved out a path for anyone that might be feeling cranky to tune into. It's like pushing the easy button. And by the way, there's no limit on the energetic scale. You know, there's angelic beings and far beyond. So there's no limit, and there's no limit down here. But this is just an example. And we can all do this. All it is being an alchemist with energy. That's all we're doing. And you never know how it will show up. It could show up as a perceived homeless man in the grocery store. Sometimes when you tune into someone that has already achieved that higher state of bliss and spirituality, when you tune into that, sometimes it's immediate when you feel that shift, and sometimes it takes a bit of a day. For instance, there is this, so all of us, we tune into higher frequencies all the time. If I were to ask you, give me 3 things that you love doing, and you gave me those 3 things, you can see that those are areas in your life where you are attaching yourself to a higher frequency. For me, it's gardening. I love gardening. I love putting my hands in dirt. I love getting grounded. I love growing my vegetables, and I love eating them. Sometimes I feel bad about eating them, but you know. But I love my gardening, right? My husband, he loves listening to music. Music elevates him. So whatever it might be for you, that is an area where you are experiencing high frequency. And more people are waking up to higher frequencies. After COVID, more people are realizing that they no longer want to be a part of the drama or the blame game. That's all dense energy. So they're looking at more ways to create higher resonance for themselves and for those that they love. Now, as we all know, lower frequencies can literally look like fear, anger, division, blame, and victimhood, certainly not high frequency. And in the outer world, there is a tendency to take these lower frequencies and turn them into againstness, turn them into division against those who do not agree with certain points of view or opinions or whatever the daily soundbite of againstness might be. And this is why I don't listen to the news, basically because it creates gridlock, my friends. Have you ever noticed that? If you look out in the world, wouldn't you say, you know, there's some gridlock going on? And it's up to you and I, being the lighthouse that we are here at Unity of Santa Barbara, to change the outer world, the outer frequency, by changing what's going on inside. Now, this is not to bypass challenges. It's just to, and not to put our heads in the sand either, but rather to be present to seeing how we can assist from a higher perspective, such as the saint in the grocery store. I didn't ask from a place of againstness. I didn't say, wait a minute, are you a right-wing conservative? Are you a flaming liberal? Are you against global warming? Are you against or for vaccines? Did you vote for Trump or Biden? And depending on your answers, well, maybe I'll give you $20 to go get that pizza. But isn't that how we are in the outer world, my friends? Isn't that how we are? In the outer world, we have conditions. When we are resonating at a higher frequency, kindness and generosity doesn't care about any of this. There are no conditions when you're resonating up here. Unconditional kindness is where you elevate yourself to a higher frequency than that of the againstness of the third world denseness, that 3D world. But I think that there is a tendency that many of us have, that where we are encouraged into that living the doom and gloom that we are told about, because we let other people dictate to us how we should feel and what we should do. And I get it. I get it. We all have a little bit of that going on. We tend to go up and down the scale, if you will. There are days you're going to feel cranky. There are days you're going to listen to the doom and gloom and you're going to feel doom and gloomy. But the best thing for each of us is to ask, what is high frequency for me? How can I become it more? And remember, if I become it more, it is beneficial to the whole, to everyone. Your energy ripples out to others. You carve out an energetic path for others to follow. And that is why we call Jesus our way-shower. He showed us the way. He carved out an energetic path to follow. We are all far more connected in this fabric together than we realize. And so I close again with 2 Corinthians 4:18, where it says, so we fix our eyes not on what is seen, not in the world, but on what is unseen, God, Spirit. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. My friends, the power that we have is infinite.
Let's give Reverend Cathy some love, shall we? And so a man pulls up to a stop sign and realizes that the car in front of him has stalled. And so he proceeds to honk his horn as the individual, the woman, is trying to start her car. And he continues to honk his horn. And so she gets out of the car and she goes to him and says, would you like to trade places? You know, I'll honk the horn and you go and see if you can start the car. Well, I wouldn't really advise this in 2023, okay? However, you decide every day if you are the one honking your horn or if you are the one that is a self-starter, starting with the intention of your life. That is the difference between lower frequency and higher frequency. Are you with me? You're either the one leading the way or you're the one pushing in a way that's not the highest and best for your life. I don't know about you, but I was raised, my dad, and I do believe you don't blame your parents after you're 30, but just for purposes of storytelling today. So my dad not only drove the car he was in, but everybody else is on the highway. Did any of you have a parent like that? And he didn't talk to his family, all of us in the car. He talked to the cars. Don't be coming over here on top of me. No. Look at that guy. Look at that girl. And so that was a real habit for me to break, in my sobriety, was not to talk to all the cars and yell at them and stuff like that. But one of the things that I wanted to outgrow is that when I would be at a light and it would just be turning green and somebody would land on their horn, like they just couldn't wait a half a second, and I'd be going in this conversation like, why don't you go to stress management, or what is your issue, or, don't you know divine timing? Let me give you a daily word, whatever. But I transcended that frequency to now I wave. And I go, oh my gosh, I didn't know I knew you. Hi. How are you? Bless me. A frequency, an energy field, a holy, sacred lighthouse. It is an everyday practice, isn't it? An everyday practice. Many years ago, a friend of mine took a job in Reno, Nevada, as a doctor in an integrative medical institution. And she was so excited, and she had been there many months, and they just had difficulty regardless of the marketing and all the PR they were doing. They just couldn't keep people. The people that would come wouldn't stay as far as clients, and they just couldn't get the traffic coming into the place. So she brought me in to do a shamanic cleansing for the building and the lobby, et cetera, et cetera. And so when I assessed that, and I'm giving you the shorter version today, when I assessed it, I noticed the outside of the building, even though they had purchased it to be this integrative, whole and healthy place, they had bars on the windows like a prison. The opposite, right? They had the furniture that they had did not flow. There was no feng shui, going on. There was feng shui fighting, going on in the lobby. And as I checked in each room, there was one room, and to spare our audience today an age group that we have, a violent action had happened in one of those rooms. And I could see it, and I could feel the image still there and taking hold of that place. And so we did a cleansing, and everything shifted. Because energy has life, and energy has power, whether we are conscious of it or not. We have a specialist that's coming to do this work for Unity of Santa Barbara. How exciting, yes? To clear any, you can clap, yeah, it's exciting. To clear any kind of blocks or anything that are unconscious that are here within your own house. Your soul is your home. Your being is your house of your soul. And within your own house, as Ragan said in her meditation today, you want to be aware of any blocks that you carry. We're born pure spirit. And along the way, we begin to go through the Velcro effect. You're familiar with the Velcro effect, yes? So if you grew up in a critical home, you have Velcroed yourself to accept criticism in your life. You attract people, you marry people that are critical of you. You have children that criticize you because the Velcro effect continues to attract that same kind of energy. Are you with me? The Velcro effect is if you have this belief that you don't have enough and that there's not enough, that's the Velcro effect that somewhere along the way you have learned that and you have stuck that on you, that belongs to you. And therefore it's a strain to be abundant. Every time you get ahead, you lose that or something else happens. This is the stick-on energetic belief system that we put on our bodies. And the reason we gather every week, and the reason we come together and we meditate and we work with these energy fields is we release these Velcro energies that we have identified as ourselves. when they are not true for us at all. Say that with me. They are not true for us at all. And that's why we say, check your external, not so it will continue to have power over you, but to realize it has none whatsoever. And you can create a whole new Velcro effect in your life. I am abundant. I am joyful. I am love. As Einstein would say, you cannot hold two conflicting ideas at the same time. So if you are in gratitude, at the same time, you cannot be anxious and depressed. If you are in gratitude, at the same time, you cannot be anxious and you cannot be depressed. As Reverend Cathy was saying, in the many things that we learned during the COVID time and when we were all locked in or on a universal timeout that we needed, apparently, right? We learned that we need relatability of community. We learned that we need to come together so we can see a different mirror of who we are, so we can thrive and attract our kind of energetic people and energetic being. Back in 2008, when the economy tanked, I had two very dear friends that were members of my congregation, and they both decided that their medication was too expensive to pay out of pocket. And instead of getting coached or working with someone like Dr. Jim, they just decided to stop taking it. They both stroked out. One went to a hospital where he was in a wing of worst case physical scenarios. And that's all he saw every day as a mirror, was the worst case scenarios of people not getting better. What do you imagine happened to him? He checked out. The other gentleman surrounded himself by people that had successfully overcome a stroke. And guess what happened to him? He became a vibrant, energetic person. Mirroring is very important to all of us. And that's why when we say, I want a fulfilling life, I want opportunities, I want to take care of my body, I want to be a great athlete or a musician or whatever, it is crucial and so necessary that we surround ourselves with people of like-mindedness and of like heart. Yes? Yes. Does this fit for you in your well-beingness? And so in that vibration is a clarity. It is an intention each and every day that this is the day the law hath made. This is the day the Lord has created. I release any appearance of anything I have allowed to stick on me that I no longer want to belong. So in closing, it's literally called the autobiography of life. I walk down the street, there's a hole in the sidewalk, and I fall in it. Chapter 2, I go down the street, the hole's there, and I fall in it. Chapter 3, I walk down the street, there's that hole. I can't believe I fell in it again, but I did get out quicker this time. Chapter 4, I go down the street, there's the hole, I walk around it. Chapter 5, I take a different street. Keep your frequencies up, and bless you, and thank you for being with us today. Thank you. Thank you. As our Unity singers are coming forward and our ushers are coming forward, now's when people really clap because it's time for our offering. And people get so excited to give because they have received from this wonderful community. And we thank all of you for all that you have been doing towards giving to this community financially, giving to this community as in sharing with your friends that we are here and inviting new people. We're very, very grateful for the blessings that we have. Let us affirm together our offering statement, shall we? Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I share. Thank you, God.
Noreen? That was an introduction to our last song, which is called A New World Coming. It's another one where we'd like you to sing along, but you may not be familiar with the song. I'm not sure we've performed it before, and I know how hard it is from choir rehearsal to sing a song you don't know. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to go through it once, the choir and the band, and so you'll hear how the song goes, and then we'll post the lyrics on the monitors, and we'd like you to sing along with us a second time through, because let's face it, it's fun to make music together.
And you're right. All of you proved to us that you're really listening to what we're saying. There were no lyrics up there. Next time there will be. Give yourself a good big hand for being awake and noticing, yes? And I noticed none of you honked your horn, but you just went with the flow. So that's really, really great. Ragan Thompson has a table right outside. She has various activities. That's how we met originally. She does community things. She's a real advocate for climate crisis, et cetera, et cetera. So please go out and meet and greet her. Our ongoing classes by Reverend Michelle are of a wide range, whether it's Sufism or different things or meditation. And this week, she's talking about the persona. It's a Latin word for mask. And this Thursday, she's going to be teaching tools that she learned from Gay and Katie Hendricks. And so that's Thursday, and our wonderful Shirley Campbell Chapel, named after our matriarch. I'm going to ask her to stand. The one and only Shirley Campbell has been coming to Unity of Santa Barbara for 90 years. She deserves a standing ovation, I'm saying. Thank you, that's better. Thank you. That's better. 90 years. Some people can't even commit to a year. And you're still with it and still believe it's the best medicine in the universe. Thank you. Blessings, Shirley. Unity of Santa Barbara Youth Ministry is asking for volunteers. It can be a visit within the hour. It doesn't have to be the whole hour. So we're inviting you to really look at that. We have Sibley, an angelic healer that is going to be here next Sunday doing a workshop from 12 to 4. And we're going to share with you now.
Experience the healing light of the divine in the wings of the angels with Sibley, an angelic channel healer. Sunday, January 29, from 12 p.m. noon to 4 p.m. within a chamber of healing light, we are raising our frequencies, healing our bodies and minds. Namaste. I am Sibley Sarajin, an angelic channel healer and artist of light. I have been guided by luminous angelic beings into higher dimensions.
We welcome her this coming Sunday, and she's talking about what we talked about. There we go, in a different perspective. You know, we have so many things going on now. Have you noticed? That make sure you have signed up for e-news and make sure that you check into our website, because I literally cannot stand here and read all the things we have going on. Our Vibrant Living series, however, is extremely important, and it's on Wednesday at 7 p.m., February 1, led by Dr. Jim and B.B. Bertuzzi, and inviting these wonderful guests in, Wayne Lehrer, the gifts of conscious aging. And so we're delighted. And we have Paul Seelig, of course, that is utilizing our facility, renting it, and I imagine they are going to be sold out soon. But you can access that information through either here or Facebook. We have a workshop, G.D. Wilkins Smith. How many of you came to G.D. Wilkins Smith's program back in May? We're doing an entire weekend of healing and decoding emotional energies and shamanism. It's going to be quite, don't wear socks, because we're going to blow your socks off. What can I say about that? Reverend Michelle also is going to be offering the Power of Mastermind. It's a year program. It's an energetic, and Shirley will say a year isn't anything, but it's about using your journal and masterminding in consciousness what you want in your life. And so for more information, you can go to the Welcome Center. And what a blessing, huh? And so let us stand and sing our peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, when we all are free. Let's walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it Woo! We have some shouters in the house. Let us affirm together our unity prayer. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. Bless you, everyone.